Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, both and neither. It's that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, our celebration of our descent into madness over here in Western civilization through the exploration of memes. I'm your sometimes humble host, Eric, joined by my beautiful co-hosts, Quiet Michael Labune and Andrew Teedy. And we're going to have some funny memes. But first, patented, trademarked, always necessary component of Facebook for the Blind. You know what I'm talking about. That's right. Oh, yeah. This isn't working well at all. No. And I get so sad when things don't work right.
Is this going to be the "this ain't working well" episode?
Shh with you. Shh. Boom. There we go. Necessary component of Facebook for the Blind, the depressing news. Starting off, of course, heat alerts again. Millions under heat alerts as extensive hot weather leads to higher gas prices. I didn't actually watch the news, so I don't know how hot weather contributes to gas prices. But if you live in Houston where they make gas and you're under a heat alert, I bet you feel pretty dumb right now. That's just my thought. I don't know.
I lived in Texas, Illinois, Minnesota, Ohio. I made gas in all those places.
Yeah. and is it expensive everywhere?
It's more expensive in Texas. Yeah.
I was just gonna say no. It's just like however many Taco Bell tacos you need.
All right, cool.
I can make gas out of almost anything.
Nice. Hey, speaking of Indiana, and we often are, police have tied a decades-old gun shop in Indiana to hundreds of Chicago crimes, and it's now shutting down. Basically, Westforth Sports in Gary, Indiana, was the #1 supplier of crime guns that the police captured. This one little place, #1 store. Some years it was like, it was the third, but it's just like, tied to 850 crime guns. So they're nipping in the bud. I'm just stunned.
They just figured out that Gary was supplying Chicago with guns. I knew that in the 90s. I was 10 in the 90s.
Okay, but not just Gary, but this place, this single little cinder block POS store 10 miles across the border into Indiana. Anyway, so they're gonna trim that down and see what happens. Hey, this week we had testifying under oath in front of the Congress about UFOs, and the 5 most memorable moments were basically the non-human biologics. That was probably the big thing, non-human biologics. And they were like, really? You don't want to say alien? He's like, I'd prefer to use non-human biologics.
Don't want to piss them off.
Which I thought was, okay. Anyway, so they called for a lot of transparency and stuff. It was nothing really in the testimony that we don't already know, because they played the crap out of it in TikTok videos and blah blah blah. But non-human biologics, that was fun. And it's crazy too. I mean, basically they just said aliens under oath in Congress, and you know what? Nobody cared. Everybody just was like, say it was healthcare. Google searches for gerontocracy skyrocketed after the McConnell incident. Senator Mitch McConnell, 81, froze during a press conference. And nobody covered this, in the hallway later, he froze again and misanswered a question. And then the next day, Senator Dianne Feinstein, aged 90, was coached to say, just say aye during a vote. And basically, Google searches for gerontocracy, that is, rule by the aged and decrepit and senile, soared to an all-time high. The Fed has dropped their recession forecast. And guys, I just cannot tell you how angry Fox News was about this. Oh my God. Maria Bartiromo was so sad and angry that 528,000 jobs had been added, and the unemployment rate was all the way down to 3.5. Oh my God, the unemployment rate is 3.7. She's so mad. It was really funny if you follow this kind of stuff, which I highly recommend that you do. Unfriend of the show and well, I guess I should do a little bit more. There was just nothing but really great news. You know what I mean? The inflation was down to the best rate, since I don't know, what is this here? The 80s, the early 80s. That's pretty good. Or down to the 10s. I don't know. Whatever. It's going pretty good.
It was good.
It was pretty good. Here's a weird one. Real manufacturing construction spending shot up. Look at this crap. They're talking about it around the world. The United States is investing in computer, electronic, and electrical manufacturing in the United States. It's just soaring upwards. And a lot of people are really excited about that. And then, of course, my pedantic actually crowd jumped in there and said, actually, inflation is at an all-time high and construction costs have added. I was like, hey, can you just enjoy the best manufacturing boom in my adult life just for a second? Just let me have it. But that much good news in the economy means somebody's got to do something douchey. Anheuser-Busch laying off hundreds of workers after the Bud Light boycott hammers sales. Did you know that the Bud Light boycott actually impacted anything at all? One single six-pack to a transgender has brought down Anheuser-Busch. And here's the crazy thing: 380 workers getting laid off. Here's the craziest thing: you know who's taking the place? You know who's more popular than Bud Light now? Yeah, Modelo, the Mexican beer. That's right. Yeah, America's transphobia trumps its xenophobia. Make a note of that. Did you see that?
Xenophobes have always been drinking their Coronas, though.
You think? Yeah. See,
I say that's a very basic white thing to do.
That's as American as liking Mexican beer.
Made in Chicago.
I remember a Mexican friend of mine said to me one time, he goes, man, we don't drink Corona in Mexico, man. I said, really? He goes, no, it's too shitty. We send it to you guys.
Yeah, it's true.
I believe it.
They drink Tecate, though. They drink the fucking shit out of Tecate. I was a bartender for 10 years. Let me tell you something.
He goes, why the fuck would you add a lime to a beer? How shitty is that beer? Think about it, man.
We are so Caucasian.
Oh my God.
This coming from the people who put tomato juice in Bud Light for breakfast.
Ugh.
That's they call it red beer.
Yeah. I'd rather just have a Bloody Mary.
Everything is
I
gross.
honestly drank the fucking shit out of all of it. I was an indiscriminate drinker. I was more of an alcohol person.
I just pictured you in the hospital getting an injection and grabbing the cotton ball from the nurse and sucking on it.
Yeah. Drinking Listerine, vanilla extract, whatever I could get my hands on.
I was doing the Listerine thing in basic.
Oh my God.
When I was in Iraq, I cut some NyQuil with Red Bull to get fucked up on New Year's Eve. It did not work.
I've heard about that. Oh.
Dude, absolutely craziness. All right, moving on. Let's do some more news. Elon Musk, who's a really smart guy, according to some, according to Joe Klosek there in downtown San Francisco, says end of an era. The old Twitter sign gets covered up because remember they tried to take it down and the police stopped them because they didn't have a permit. So then they built this monstrosity on the roof, giant metal X on the roof. And he goes, end of an era. Oh no, beginning of a saga. Continues today. Intersection now reports even Sesame Street is dunking on him. It is so over. Literally, like X on Sesame Street, the letter X held a press conference to disavow any knowledge of ever having met Elon. And Sesame Street says today's letter of the day is X, as in Elon Musk has not one but two ex-wives.
Oh.
Right on Sesame Street, pulling no punches.
You know Oscar came up with that.
Dude, I am loving it. I am here for every minute of it. Judge dismisses Trump's big lie lawsuit against CNN. saying being Hitler-like is not a verifiable statement of fact that would support a defamation claim. The Trump-appointed judge wrote. So he dismissed it because, basically he said, well, the comparison was being Hitler-like and seems legit. Speaking of Nazis, DeSantis campaign fired a speechwriter who promoted a video with Nazi imagery. Not only did he promote the video, he made the video. The video, it had that, oh, what's that stupid symbol in it called?
Good.
It's like a Krugerrand. Sonoran. There it is, a Sonorad. Anyway, yeah, he puts it, well, no, you couldn't put a swastika in there, man. You'd give up the whole game. But he put a Sonorad in the background and basically drew out this whole video of DeSantis becoming a dictator, because for them, that's like, they want it, that's aspirational. That's what they want. And they fired him, because of the Nazi propaganda and imagery in the video. And I just wanted to point out, speechwriter. So if you thought DeSantis's speeches sounded a little Nazi, well, there you go. It's because he hired Nazi speechwriter, propagandist. It's easy. Let's see here. Houston, in a brilliant move in response to the heat, decided to eliminate librarians in 28 schools. And they've decided that, just to fight against wokeness, they're just going to fire 28 librarians, and they're going to turn the space, the libraries, with what they call team centers, which are essentially disciplinary centers for students. Going to turn libraries into detention centers. I just like, Texas, tell me you don't want anyone to raise children in your state. Say it. Just say it to my face. Unbelievable. Republicans have been telegraphing their desires all over the place. The new spending bill contains a lot of efforts to undermine the Biden administration's ability to meaningfully respond to the climate crisis that most of us seem to be aware of. But the Republicans decided to tack on some legislation that said none of the funds made available by this act may be used to consider or incorporate the social cost of carbon. So that's like kind of the root of the whole climate crisis there, buddy. The bill also permanently rescinds $1.3 billion in grant funding under the Clean Air Act to mitigate the effects of air pollution, even though like 250,000 Americans now live in areas with dangerous levels of air pollution. They could probably use some mitigation. So anyway, basically, they just made the legislation to make it really easy to rush through some more fossil fuel, but to make it really hard to slow down windmills. For example, if you want to do an offshore wind development in Florida, you have to have a study about the impact on military readiness and training, marine environment and ecology, tourism, and other potential uses of the outer continental shelf. Because, got to have our military readiness and training. And what if a windmill got in the way? It's freaking absolutely insane. On the heels of that good economic news, I see that the Biden administration has decided to run on this. U.S. job satisfaction is 62%, the highest level in 36 years. How ballsy is that to pin your freaking economy on U.S. job satisfaction? Like, do you know how few Americans are satisfied with their jobs? There's some sexual surrogate therapists, some stoners that work in record stores, and
actuaries actuaries actually.
That's
They love
true.
their jobs. Yeah.
That's true. If you're really into the numbers, that's if you're really into the numbers. See, a couple other things I'll just toss in real quickly. Oh, Pfizer pharmaceutical plant in North Carolina was destroyed by a tornado, and everybody had to know God's wrath. Pfizer, North Carolina. What have you been doing? Paul Rubens, friend of the show, Paul Rubens, died this week at 70 years old. And here's a picture of him on Mork and Mindy back in the day, standing alongside Robin Williams. A lot of people posting their favorite scenes with him. So I decided, of course, to put in some of mine. from Cheech Chong's Nice Dreams. I'm sorry I took the money. I loved it. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. He's the only time I ever saw cocaine in a Cheech and Chong movie, I believe. Paul Rubens had it and got Cheech and Chong pretty ripped on it. And as a 13-year-old boy, I thought it was very, very funny. So there you go. There you go. Little did I know. Every week we try to close with a fun animal story. There were 3 war whales that were seen performing a rare synchronized jump. I couldn't figure out how to get the video in here, but here's a picture. Look, pretend they're all jumping at the same time. Isn't that cool? 3, I believe they're orcas. I think they're orcas. I mean, this one's got a little.
No, I think that's a little bit bigger.
You think it's bigger than an orca? Well, I don't know. I didn't, we here at Facebook for the Blind go beyond just reading the first sentence and headline of a news story, and we sometimes read the second sentence. But I didn't.
It's categorically untrue.
I didn't get there this week. I didn't get there. I had a lot of stuff going on. So for your closing story,
they're whales.
For your closing, cuddly, heartwarming animal story, specifically with Michael Labune in mind, scientists found 46-year-old roundworms alive beneath the Antarctic ice. Yep.
They didn't have to go that far. I could
Already,
have shown them some 46,000-year-old roundworms easy.
already reproducing. They're little nematodes, just nematodes, just already screwing and making little baby nematodes from 46,000 years ago. What could possibly go wrong? And that has been your warm, heartwarming animal cuddly story. Wrapping up Facebook for the Blind for August 1st, 2023. And now on to my beautiful co-host, Michael Labune, with a nice long round.
Round 1.
Jesus, Eric.
What?
Fucking roundworms. I got to follow roundworms.
Roundworms, round 1. You better have a round something.
Here comes a big long round one. This one coming to us from Lindsay Davis at Lindsay Davis. She says, "Well, I'm never wearing this top again." And it's she's a news person, I guess. She's wearing a shirt that's white and black, but the way the shirt's made, the shoulders and the sides of the arms are black, so the silhouette of is black, but the inside of the shirt is white. And somebody just captioned it "tiny body" or "giant head."
You know those optical illusions where you just keep looking at them and I can't unsee this. I cannot unsee giant head, tiny body.
If you've seen Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland movies, bro.
What are those toys called that are like this?
Bratz dolls.
Bobbleheads?
Bratz dolls.
Yeah, basically a bobblehead. Anyway, moving on.
Bobbleheaded Bratz dolls.
This post was rated 4 Marjorie Taylor Greens for how stupid it is. And it's just
Bravo.
4 pictures of Marjorie Taylor Greene. This comes to us from Sticky the Kitty. It's a little one-panel cartoon made in watercolors. Here we see God, kind of like looking a lot like Zeus. And there's a dog, and God is sitting on the throne. A dog and a cat are standing before God. God says to the dog, "Were you a good dog?" And the dog says, "Oh, yes, I sat and I begged and I was loyal." And God says, "And were you a good cat?" And the cat says, "You are sitting in my chair."
Oh, God, that has to be true.
This one's coming to us from B at Not Ballin', friend of the show. B at Not Ballin'. If you're not following Not Ballin', like, where are you getting your Not Ballin'? He says capitalism breeds innovation. And here we have 4 pictures of 4 different apps: StockX, Xfinity, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Xbox. And all 4 of them are just different font X's. There's your innovation, folks.
Woo,
They
capitalism.
didn't even get that creative with the color scheme.
I know. Well, I mean, actually, I don't know colorblind, but I'm sure it sucks. Midwest versus everybody. Friend of the show, Midwest versus everybody. This is also our culture. Midwest versus everybody. At Midwestern Ope says nobody, says nothing. Midwesterners, why would I fly when it's only a 14-hour drive?
Amen, brother. Amen.
I'm serious. If they ever build a bridge across the ocean, I will never fucking fly again.
No.
I really appreciate this. This was 2 panels from 40 Rock, and I think this guy's name is I don't know his name. Who's this guy's name? Kenny? Is it Kenny? Kenneth, who's like the volunteer at the network, and he's talking to Jack, played by Alec Baldwin. And Kenneth says, "I don't vote Republican or Democrat. Choosing is a sin. So I always just write in the Lord's name." And Alec Baldwin says, "That's Republican. We count those." I have one more for this round before I kick it back over to you, TD. And no words for this cartoon, just a 2-panel cartoon. Here, the first one, we have Batman and Superman, clearly on a stay out. Batman is leaning against the window and he's looking through his bat goggles. And Superman is standing right behind Batman and he's holding 2 coffees. But then when you look, he's like sweating and he's blushing a little bit and he's looking down. And in the next panel, we see that Superman is using his X-ray vision to look through Batman's clothes. And Batman's wearing some panties. He's wearing a little thong.
That's a G-string. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's not even a thong anymore. That's
I
dental
think
floss, bro.
I think if we understand the set-subset relationship, the G-string falls as a subset of the set thong, does it not? Is a G-string not a kind of thong?
No, because sometimes it's literally just a string tied to the waistband. So I wouldn't call it a thong. I would call it a string.
Okay, look, we're getting way in the weeds now, but here's the thing. The word thong also applies to flip-flops, right? It's just
Word.
I think thong just means like a thin something in the crack of something. I'm doing this, I'm holding up 2 fingers. These are toes, by the way. is what these are. See, these
I
are
have more than that.
Okay, here's TD's toes.
yeah, that's what. Yeah, right there.
All right. Now that we solved it, back to you, TD.
Oh, great! I cracked myself up, and now I gotta think. Oh, yeah, this is gonna work. Hi, guys.
Tapeworms, G-strings, TD.
All right, hey guys, it is time for round 1, also known as TD's often imitated, never duplicated, world famous short round 1.
It's really small.
Very tiny. I'm not gonna make that joke. Okay, friend of the show, friend of the universe, friend of you and me, Jason Jester, post a meme here, and it says, "I've been thinking about buying and it's the cast of Friends, I think, and they're leaning against the door, and it's like one's labeled with Google and one's labeled Facebook and one's labeled Instagram and the other one has like the YouTube thing." Yeah, I jokingly said the word lederhosen a couple days ago. Guess what's popping up in my Facebook? Don't tell me they ain't listening. All right. Baking While Baked, friend of everybody, definitely a good friend of mine. Please follow me on on X or whatever the hell it is now. Cashman Bakes, thank you. And that's Baking While Baked, the show where I make delectable baked goods full of sugar and spice while I'm full of herb and feeling nice. Okay. It's a meme here, just says, "These edibles ain't shit." And it says 45 minutes later, it's a picture of Mitch McConnell when he was having his Control-Alt-Delete moment.
Dude, Thursday over in Springfield, I saw Matt Miller and he goes, "Hey, you guys like impressions?" And he just sat quiet for like 30 seconds. He goes, "I was a senator."
God, I love him. I love Matt.
Dude,
He's so
my
good.
buddy showed me this meme and I was like, "That's not funny." And he goes, "It wasn't funny when it happened to me either." He's like, "Those edibles, man, they're the fucking truth."
Yeah, I've started to find something to hit me a little bit. I'm gonna start making my own soon. This is gonna end badly. All right, moving on. Friend of the show, Papa Wolf and Krampus. Repost from Legonium. I don't
Wow.
know.
Ligonium.
Thank you. And it says Veni Vidi Convidi Concetti. I came, I saw, I fit, I sit. And it's a picture of a cat sitting in a Lego Coliseum parking lot.
Brilliant.
And the cat's just, chilling like a villain. And yeah, I fit, I sit in Latin.
Nice.
Okay.
This was a highbrow joke.
Oh
It took
yeah.
me-
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not just about fart jokes and pee-pee humor. Okay.
That's not
Benny
your
Vidi.
average Indiana public education. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, I've traveled.
He's
Hey,
like,
moving
I've been to Illinois.
I was actually going to say Kentucky.
Well, look, I give you props on the Veni Vidi Kitty.
Thank you. Oh, that was a good one. I like that one. I just got inspired for a tattoo. Anyway, friend of the show, Satan. Friend of the show, Satan at S8N.
Hey,
Posted a
Satan.
picture. Hey, buddy. Thanks for the
All
cards. All right, see you soon. He posted a picture and it says NASA discovers door on Mars, and it's a picture of the Mars landscape, and it does appear to be a stone door. And then the next picture is labeled Jehovah's Witness, and it's that guy in the yellow suit jacket coming out from behind a tree, just licking his lips and rubbing his hands. Like Jehovah's Witnesses just want a new door. Praise Jehovah.
I'm going to knock on that door so much.
So hard.
So thirsty for that door.
Every Saturday.
Moving on. Sadly. Back to back, friend of the show, Satan.
Hey, Satan.
Hey, Satan. Posts this meme here. It's a text conversation, and he says, "This random number texted me accidentally, and I couldn't help myself. LMAO." And someone texted him, "When you get home and get the baby settled, call me." And the other person responded, "I thought you had the baby." And the original poster, all caps, 3 question marks. What? Sound like Stone Cold, circa 2002. What?
Nice.
All right, moving on. We're just laughing. Yeah, good time here on Facebook for the Blind. All right, Internet Hall of Fame, friend of the show. Repost from Akila Hughes says, "I hope the TSA agent who made me open my sandwich and quote unquote move the pickles around feels super stupid. It was, in the end, it was a sandwich." And then she comments on her own post and she goes, "Shout out to the small child who roasted the guy saying, 'Oh no, a sandwich.'" I hate most children, but sometimes you do think children are the future.
Nice.
All right, moving on. Friend of the show, Eve6, love your tweets, hate your music. They post. Tell me when I'm telling lies. They post, "Oh hell yeah, he's posting like a band that has nothing going on," and it's a retweet from Elon Musk, enemy of humanity.
Oof.
And he says something special coming soon. Yeah, like a band that's got nothing going on, much like Eve6.
I like that one song.
Elon's got a song.
Oh wait, no, I was thinking of Lit.
Yeah, I knew that's what you were gonna say. Because everyone gets them confused. And the last one I got here for round one.
Oh.
Friend of the show, Ice-T. Ice-T, thanks for texting me the other day. I appreciate that.
Ice is
and he got a meme here, just a black background with a white font. And it says, "If you call me from a private number, I will respect your privacy and not answer."
Yeah.
nice.
Ice-T, profit to the people, baby.
That is a good way to be.
And that is my world famous, often imitated, never duplicated short round one. Sizemore, take it away, buddy.
You know, Michael and I were talking about you behind your back and saying that, like, man, TD says a lot of words for every round.
So fast.
So, like,
Sizemore, did anybody ever call you weightless?
no. No. That's interesting. Nope. No.
What is true?
How about you? Did anyone ever call you douchebag?
Yeah.
Okay, no,
Lots.
let's get back to this
Dude,
whole
a lot.
hold on, let's get back to this whole T talks too much shit. What the fuck?
Not talk so much. No.
Not
That you
talking
do
about-
like your bits, like you
Yeah.
like have these memorized like bits before your rounds, and you
my
say
little
you have like,
catchphrasy
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you
And I was
smoke
like-
so much weed, but somehow
Yeah.
you remember all of it every
All of it.
time.
I have this rare thing called stoner recall.
He's
Ah,
neutral.
state dependent learning. Yeah, okay, I can see that. But it's so funny because like the closest thing I even got to that is the depressing news. Dun, dun, dun. That's
And I just say, "Love you, George." That's like the only thing I can remember to do every show.
true. Welcome to the show. True. Welcome to the show, Beverly. We
hello. Hi, everybody.
We are
I
still in-
apologize. I apologize for not knowing the difference between talking too much and just getting my shit in.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Sex joke.
So
Weightless, you're up.
to catch everyone up, we are now into my round one, the ostensibly wholesome round, with God knows probably the most wholesome thing in the world. It's a 4-panel Peanuts cartoon taking it back to 1951. And we have a little brunette girl saying, "He'll kick my hand. I just know he will. I can't go through with it." And she lets go of the football as she's holding. And Charlie Brown's got a big question mark as he spins into the air and goes, "Ah!" He says, "You didn't kick the ball, Charlie Brown. Why didn't you kick it?" She says to him, and he's all laid out. So the very first strip to feature the football gag, and it's Violet Gray. Violet,
It's not
Violet
Lucy.
Gray.
That's not Lucy. Yeah, I've ever said that's not her hair. Even
What?
like I know even in the early versions that she had the similar hairstyle to like when you get to the 70s.
Yeah. Anyway, but the funniest thing is that I remember reading this as a child, and I remember being scared to death that someone was going to kick my hand if I held the football. So I just became bookish. Since it is ostensibly the wholesome round, I wanted to show you this IGA in Montreal. Check that crap out. It's got a green roof. These are like fruits and vegetables and stuff. And like they have bees and they produce honey. And you can buy all that stuff in the IGA downstairs. How freaking
Bravo.
cool is that?
Bravo.
Isn't that cool?
For our listeners, this IGA is way bigger than the one in Paxton.
Oh, yeah. That's
Oh,
true.
word.
Yeah. But it's Montreal, so they still might not have any stoplights. Oh, and look, I believe that's a rooftop restaurant. I believe I'm looking at a rooftop restaurant at sunset underneath a little, sort of a, what would you call it? Like a gazebo. It's not a gazebo, but it's
Pergola.
Place setting. A what? Pergola?
Pergola.
Look at you, buddy. Very nice.
Stoner recall, baby.
Nice. Anyway, yeah, so they grow fruits and vegetables up there and they drop them downstairs to the grocery store, and that is zero carbon footprint, and it's an all organic rooftop farm. Love them. It's a wholesome round. Speaking of green stuff, friend of the show, Mike, posts one of these overpasses, the animal overpasses that let the animals actually cross over. And you can sort of see it's an aerial shot, but these are like sort of curved archway tubes going underneath this cool, curvy little pathway there. And I remember seeing them when they first put them in, and they were just grasses, but now they really filled in with shrubs and trees and bushes, and it just got so much texture. I just want to lick it somehow. It's so pretty. Anyway, this next one is the classic New Yorker style cartoon. We've got two frogs in a pot of water. Two frogs in a pot of water, and one of the frogs is kicked back with his elbows up in the rim, and he's going, "Relax. Pot temperatures have been going up and down for centuries." This next is a remade movie poster with all the Muppets, and it's the Muppet Big Lebowski. And I don't know.
Yes.
Really, Lebowski is Floyd from the band, with his white Russian in hand and his bathrobe, and Fozzie as whoever John Goodman plays, in my shirt, in this bowling shirt that I'm wearing right now.
That's an industrial strength White Russian. See, look how big that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's like a white Russian. That's a white Russian I would drink.
That's that's one of those travel mugs. That's 12 ounce right there. That's a 12 ounce travel mug. Definitely.
Yeah, or as they call it.
I love it.
Yeah. And oh man, was it Nighthawks? The old Nighthawks painting adapted to the Big Lebowski with Lebowski and the John Goodman character and the other guy. So Steve Buscemi, but also your diner guy. I just thought it was funny. I thought it was interesting. Okay, moving on. Friend of the show, Dave King, posts this meme that says, name something you learned in school you never used in your adult life. And Barrett Cruz responds, how to smoke in the bathroom. Can't smoke anywhere now. Right anywhere. Useless. The other 90% passes along Forrest Valkai, who says, it's crazy how people get justifiably angry when scalpers buy a bunch of tickets to sell them at an unreasonable prices, but when landlords do the exact same thing with houses, we all just act like that's normal and smart business and homeless people should just work harder.
Oh, God.
Boom. This is one of those cool pictures of all the galaxies and the stars and stuff, and it is captioned, you are here paying rent.
Oh.
From Political Atheist. Here we have the Brady family with the 9 squares with Alice in the center, and it says, it's never explicitly explained how the Brady Bunch had access to Zoom in the 1970s. By the way, about every show, we do about 90 memes. This was the one meme that was safe to send to my mom. Friend of the show, Joe Klosik, making a 3rd appearance in the show, and we are still pretty early in here, saying, you know how I know we have all become numb to the crazy that passes for normal in society and government? There was an actual bipartisan hearing in Washington, D.C. recently where the Inspector General for the intelligence community found the lead witness whistleblower's claims to be urgent and credible. And what were those claims? That the U.S. government not only has wreckage of non-human crafts, but has engaged in decades-long program of denial and cover-up to protect the secret. And how did the news and social media react? There was a bipartisan hearing? like for real? Bipartisan? You shitting me? This is a picture that TD posted earlier today. It was just frankly fucking disturbing. You
I
converted.
did not post this.
Yes, you did. Converted yourself into Homer Simpson, so now you are TD Simpson or Andrew Simpson or Homer
TV.
Homer TD. This is my least favorite TD.
And yeah, I don't like him either.
Wow, it was disturbing, man.
It's very cringy.
It's true. It's true. Friend of the show, Milagro. You guys remember Milagro from Blind Pig?
Well,
Anyway, she got did some stuff. She reposts Trixie Milkovich, who has posted Maddie at Dracula's Flesh saying, yeah, aliens this and aliens that. But what about vampires? When will we get vampires?
That would be more interesting.
Yeah, well, God, nothing is ever good enough for some people. And finally, rounding out my wholesome round one, we have The Far Side, one of my absolute favorites, reposted by Claire de Lune from The Far Side. And the setting is a kitchen. Got an old style kitchen here with a window and a fridge and a cabinet and some cookies on the shelf and a little boy running around the kitchen table. And there are 2 wolves chasing him in the pursuit. And it says, Luposlipophobia, the fear of being pursued by timber wolves around a kitchen table while wearing socks on a newly waxed floor. Woo! That phobia.
New fear unlocked.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Yeah,
Look at
no shit.
me and 16,000 others. Yep, we're all feeling it. I'm like, oh my God. Yes, that is terrifying right there. So, yeah, that's been round one, wrapping it up. Back to you, Mr. LeBute.
Here we go with the ill Reverend round 2.
God, that Reverend is so ill.
Starts with the Muff Report. Friend of the show, the Muff Report. It's a famous picture of the Last Supper with Judas Iscariot crouched down and sneaking past the table with money in his hand. Only this time it's labeled, does it look like I'm going downstairs?
It's funny because we've all done it.
The Hard Times News, friend of the show, the Hard Times News, is a picture of a man crowd surfing in it, and the headline reads, Dude crowd surfing has been dead for hours. Oh, here's a great meme. It starts off with God creates dinosaurs, and then the dinosaurs can't build a church, and then it just shows God. It's a finger pressing the reset button on a keyboard. Trash Can Paul, friend of the show, Trash Can Paul. I hope you're feeling better, Trash Can.
Aw.
Here's look, I hate this, but I hate it because if you look down in the far right corner, you see that this picture was taken in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh,
It's a picture of like a fondue, except instead of chocolate, it's ranch dressing. And there's like chicken wings and taquitos for you to dip into the ranch dressing fondue. And it says,
by the way, just if you're not in the Midwest, this is a real thing and has happened at multiple weddings that I have attended.
oh,
But like you expect that like Wisconsin and Indiana and Minnesota. This is not a Chicago thing that comes to
it's
mind.
just, you know what it is? It's
Hey.
too many fucking Indiana people
Hey.
hanging out in Chicago. It
Hey,
says,
guys, this is somebody's culture.
it said, listen, it says in big impact font, what if we kissed in front of the ranch dressing fountain? Just kidding. Unless.
John.
Here's a picture of a Chad, and it says, can you explain this gap in your resume? And he says, yes. That is when I did not have a job. I got two more memes for this round. This one says, how to slow down time. And here we have a picture. How would you describe this, Eric? This is like a scientific, like a biology.
like a Grey's Anatomy, like exposed man. You can see his muscles and his tendons.
Yeah, and all that. And it says how to slow down time. Step 1. And this Grey's Anatomy man is planking. Because it feels like forever when you're planking, you know? And the first comment says, do I have to take the skin off first? It seems a little excessive. And my last meme for this round, this is a post from Reddit. It says, I went an entire semester without realizing my friend had Tourette's. He would randomly say, jacking off. And we'd all say, hell yeah, and high five him, thinking he was just a cool guy who liked to party. And that's it for round 2. Let's see what you got, TD.
That actually reminded me of a couple guys I knew in the military, and you know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right. Hi, guys. It's time for whatever the hell round 2 is called. Because I can't pronounce either of those words right now because I'm herbalized. Okay. Friend of the show, Papa Wolf and Krampus post a picture. It says, kid, did they have scary movies when you were a kid? And it's me. We had scary everything when I was a kid. And it's these it's the McDonald land mascots, Constable, Cheeseburger Dude, and Mayor McCheese, the Pirate, Hamburglar, Grimace, Fry Guys. But who's the creepy little troll wizard looking motherfucker right in front of Grimace? I don't know that one.
Is he a puppeteer?
I don't know.
Right. It's like it looks like a weird amalgamation of like Colonel Sanders and like a hillbilly.
Like some kind of like science Ewok, kind of.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but
It's
just saying that, like, yeah, this is the reason why all people our age have trauma. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. What the?
Internet Hall of Fame, friend of the show, Internet Hall of Fame. Says, last night, our eldest teenager refused to go to an event we had bought tickets for and was exceptionally rude. So we left him at home and took the router instead. It had a great time. And it's a picture of like a movie theater seat. And there's a router sitting in that sumbitch. And there's a pissed off kid at home who can't jerk off that Pornhub.
Okay, but he might have wanted to play his video games.
No, if he was that rude, it's because he needed to work some shit out in 30 seconds or less.
On Call of Duty.
Okay, fair enough. Moving on.
We hit the button. There you go.
Friend of the show, thank you for your cards and letters. Your ruined childhood, or your childhood ruin, I'm sorry. I fucked it up. Okay. And it just posted a picture of, one of those, your little golden book deals. We all had them. And it's a picture of Grover from Sesame Street, but it's labeled drunk, naked, and looking for my wallet on the floor of an Applebee's. And there's Grover with a look I am all too familiar with on his face. And he's sitting in a pile of clothes and his boots. And he just like, bro, what the fuck did we do last night?
Nice.
All right, moving on. Friend of the show, and friend of mine, Samantha Sam Wiedemann, she posted this to my page the other day. It says, therapist, you should get a therapy dog. Me, sharing my problems to my therapy dog. Therapy dog. It's a picture of this dog that looks like he's been doing coke with John Belushi. Like this pupper can see every spectrum. It can see sounds. You can see colors you've never heard of, man.
That is quite the
yeah, dude. The Geeks, Nerds, and Dorks group, acquaintance of the show. They post a picture of a plate of corn dogs, and it says corn dogs are basically just meat Twinkies, because there's a picture of Twinkies on the bottom picture, and that is sound. I see no flaws in this logic.
I miss Twinkies, the real ones.
Yeah.
With the leather, like the sugary, bready leather on the bottom.
Why do you think I got diabetes that led to my current situation? Twinkies, baby.
They bought the recipe. You can still buy Twinkies. I ate a whole fucking box in one night like 2 months ago.
No, it's not the same thing.
That's still good. No, I would sidebar. I'm with Labine on this one. I would still like totally house a box of Twinkies right now. Yeah, it's not
there
the
was
same,
a brief moment when you couldn't buy Twinkies, but that moment did pass.
Yeah, like it might not be the same, but dude, I'm still housing a box of Twinkies and everything's good right now, man. So yeah, I'm with Labine on this one.
Dude, that's like saying jeans from H&M are just like old jeans that I had in the 70s. No, they're not. They're much worse.
Okay, that was a tragic little hard, sharp turn there. Okay, front of the show, Jason Jester. Friend of the show, Jason Jester, post one of the funniest memes I've seen in a while. It's 4 kids sitting around a table, and one's kind of got his hands out, and it says, "This kid looks like he's got a thick Brooklyn accent, and he's talking about a heist for the cookie jar." Because, like I said, it's like these little 4-year-olds. There's 4 of them, and this one little kid, he's got his little button-up shirt on, his hands out, and he's got this weird look on his face. He's talking to the other 3, and Mark the Sutter comments, "So Joey, you distract the broad, and Vinny, you lift Paulie onto the counter."
I love it, man. He really does.
Oh yeah, I mean he looks like the reincarnation of the guy that played James Gandolfini. Yeah, he looks like the reincarnation of James Gandolfini.
Oh, he's like a little toddler. That's adorable.
Yeah. Moving on. Galactic Hitchhikers, new friend of the show. Post a picture, says, "Meanwhile in Yellowstone," and it's this big fucking bison bull, and he's got 4 like fallen body silhouettes on his side because that's how many tourists he's taken out this month.
That's fantastic. There's not a word for this. Your little decals on, like,
I couldn't think of like a definitive like what we're talking about.
Little battle hash marks.
Yeah, there you go. Tally marks, but body. He's dropping.
Yeah, they're like
body.
teardrops.
Yeah,
but they're body drops,
dude.
Yeah, that's the body to the floor, man.
Nice. I like the teardrops on the side of a butt. Yeah, okay. All right.
Friend of the show, Jason Jester, post a picture of the El Arroyo sign, and it just says, "If a bag is not resealable, it contains one serving." Fucking men. Jason, I salute you for posting this because he's like me. I feel you, brother. He a big boy.
Nice, yeah. Where are you gonna? I concur.
Potato chips.
Yeah, word. Bacon. Don't at me. Friend of the show, non-aesthetic things. Post a picture here that says, "Watching movie, subtitles, farting sounds. Deaf people realizing farting makes a sound." It's a picture of Walter White from Breaking Bad with this really weird shocked look on his face. It almost looks like he's surprised, startled, and he shat his pants all at the same time.
That's great. What?
Yeah, like when did deaf people realize that? Yeah, that actually makes a noise. Does someone have to explain it to them? I don't know. I'm fascinated by this. Honestly,
I think I can feel the noise.
Yeah,
I'm too.
noise.
You know, I remember,
That's about farting.
I remember standing at Clark Bar one time. I felt the floor kind of rumble, and I knew you farted. So yeah.
That was Sandy.
All right, that's true. I got the tapes. I got your fart fingerprint on my hard drive. I will.
Moving on mercifully. This is the last one I got for round two here. It's Reese's, but not the one you're thinking of because it's spelled differently, even though they have the same logo.
Nice. Well done.
It says the wage gap isn't real. Men just tend to go for higher paying jobs like doctor, engineer, and CEO, whereas women go for lower paying jobs like female doctor, female engineer, and female CEO. Reese's,
Awesome.
I don't care if you don't make the peanut butter cups. I love you.
Very nice.
It says the wage gap isn't real. Men just tend to go for higher paying jobs like doctor, engineer, and CEO, whereas women go for lower paying jobs like female doctor, female engineer, and female CEO. Reese's,
Awesome.
I don't care if you don't make the peanut butter cups. I love you.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right, and that's all I got for round two. Over to Sizemore.
Indeed. I have such a great what we're we doing here. The irrelevant round. Yes, the irrelevant round 2 coming up. Indeed. I have such a great what we're we doing here. The irrelevant round. Yes, the irrelevant round 2 coming up with mine from A.R. Moxon at Julius Goat, who says, "I think the latest instance of a prominent Republican using Nazi imagery, symbolism, or language is a coincidence, just like the last several dozen instances were, and the several dozen instances before that." This one, friend of the show, Jason Jester, making the 97,000th appearance in the show.
We really need to get him on here.
Some kind of, we're friends on Facebook. I should invite him, and then you'd be. What would you do? What would you do, TD?
I would just sit in awe and watch the master throw his memes at us.
This is true. I'm zoomed in here on one of those like underwater vents with one of these albino crab type things, I think, crawling around on a thing. And it says, "Why do you stay at your job if it's that bad? Me, albino crab. This creature has adapted to the crushing pressure and oppressive darkness." Yeah, I thrive there. What can I say? This next one is things ruined with AI. I think it's Andrew Ramsey with cursed AI. We have a bunch of Tennessee people, hillbillies, with glowing green juice, and it says workers in Tennessee collecting dew from the mountains. Yeah, you gotta look kind of close, and their fingers are kind of screwed up. But yeah, it's like part of it's like it's almost like you're there. It's almost like you're like, that looks like
their fingers are screwed up does not mean that they're not legit Tennesseans.
This guy with the glowing green jug and the red bucket and the red flannel shirt and denim overalls and hat and face a lot like TD. I thought this was you, buddy. I really did.
I'm looking at it and I thought it was me.
Yeah. I was like, have you ever held that much Mountain Dew in one arm before?
Probably. I did grow up in Indiana.
That's okay. All right. All right. We absolve you. You know that. We absolve you. We love you, baby. This one's from acquaintance of the show, Evan Siegel, who's reposting. Luis Garcia says Mars has relented and will now add an alpha male M&M. They're all white, extra bitter, and will melt down with mixed with multicolored M&Ms. This next one's from friend of the show, Milagro, making a second appearance here with the Barbie logo, except if we look closely, it is actually a block of brie, and it spells out brie. Says the sequel looks good, and I'm like, yeah, that looks hot. Oh man.
Now I want some cheese.
I know, man. I'm so much more into seeing this brie than I am into seeing Barbie. Like in real life. Hit me. A little bit, I probably should have put it in the wholesome round here from Dirtbag Urbanism, who's passed along Brent Tadarian says, a global study reveals that Dutch residents are the most physically active on Earth, getting 12.8 hours of exercise each week. The key, designing activity into daily life. The average Dutch person cycles about 1,098 kilometers per year. And it's hashtag healthy cities. And we see a couple of women riding bicycles along the canals in, I don't know, Amsterdam, I suppose. And they look goddamn giddy. Look at that. Look how clean those streets are. Look how happy they are. Just happy. Just happy people in a city.
I think I'm allergic to that place.
Take a good look, man. Then now look outside your door. Not the same. Same at all. Less.
At least we're not Euro trash.
Less
bicycles. America.
Anyway, man, I had a good time in Holland, man. There was such an amazing variety of smells. There were women that looked like this, smelling like perfume and weed. And then
Okay, maybe I should go visit.
Yeah, fried foods and roasting nuts on every corner. It was a delightful place. Trash Can Paul with a 2-panel here. The top one, we have a woman sitting on a rock, and she is overlooking some beautiful fjords at sunset in a city. And she's up on this rock with a camera, and it says, when you visit Scandinavia. Beautiful sunset overlooking the bay. And then it says, when Scandinavia visits you. And we have a Viking invasion. Axes and flails and pitchforks and burning villages, a lot of, pillaging. There's some pillaging, I believe, is what I'm seeing there. Trash Can Paul says, not a cell phone in sight. Back in the day. Mike Ingram for everyone has a prepare yourselves for the next conservative meltdown because we have some bags of Cracker Jill.
Oh, God.
Cracker Jill. Oh, my God. Will the woke mob please let its stranglehold on caramel popcorn and peanuts? Let it go.
I can hear my brother's blood pressure rising from here.
Right? Crazy, huh? Do you want to send him that one? I'll send you that meme. Oh, you know what? I feel like it's been more than 4 minutes since we've done an Indiana joke. So here's a picture of Illinois with a green marijuana leaf on it, and Michigan with a green marijuana leaf, and Ohio with a green marijuana leaf, and Kentucky with a green marijuana leaf. And then we have Indiana all in red. And Andrew Logan says, Indiana be like, no, we're good. From friend of the show, Chandler Smith, killing it with the maps.
But do you see what is in the middle of said red?
Is that a meth pipe?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I was happy to dance with the ambiguity, but since you're a Hoosier native.
Yeah, no, that's why this makes me sad and angry.
Gotcha. Cool. We do try to guarantee that every show.
You fucking succeeded.
Piss off the Hoosiers.
What, did you say you're going to take their meth? They're not taking their meth, TD.
Yeah.
No, they need to give them weed. Take the meth.
Man, I'm not crossing Indiana's border. I'm a good Samaritan and all, but
Welcome.
Wake up.
Let my people grow marijuana.
Let me just say this. I slam a lot on Indiana, and I think the reason is because when I think of Indiana, I think of Speedway and going to see the 500 and then trying to drink some water, and it smells like gasoline.
Yeah, that is most of us.
Not saying that doesn't happen in Effingham, Illinois. We have a similar thing. But man.
Effingham is the Indiana of Illinois.
Yeah, I will allow that.
It's been said. It's been said. It has been said. All right,
I feel at home when I go down there. Yeah.
I got you. Sure. I got two more here. This one, pagan memes. Thanks, pagan memes. Appreciate all the cards and letters and keeping me up on all the pagan holidays. Reposting TT Benjamin, who says, tarot reader. In the first space, I see the Two of Swords. Is there a decision that you're me pulling from my own deck? I play the Page of Pentacles in defense position and draw. The page allows me to play a minor arcana, so I place the Three of Wands in attack position.
I fucking love it.
Friend of the show, Meg Slay, is like, this sounds hella fun. What are the rules? I want to play.
Yeah, I'm with them.
And my last for round two, the irrelevant round, we've got 3-panel. And at the top, we have Mr. Bill Gates, and it says, money doesn't matter, rich people. Then we have Angelina Jolie next to looks don't matter, attractive people. And then we have the lead singer from Queen saying nothing really matters, people who just killed a man.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Yeah, I'm with them.
And my last for round two, the irrelevant round, we've got 3-panel. And at the top, we have Mr. Bill Gates, and it says, money doesn't matter, rich people. Then we have Angelina Jolie next to looks don't matter, attractive people. And then we have the lead singer from Queen saying nothing really matters, people who just killed a man.
Yes. Yes. I love that song.
Nothing really matters. All right, back to you, Mr. Michael, for the penultimate round. Nothing really matters. All right, back to you, Mr. Michael, for the penultimate round.
Here comes the penultimate round, round 3. Gonna make it quick because it's getting late. BMG Rubber Band Grant at a pimp named Drip _ says, what's the cheapest shit y'all ever did? One time, I went and got a rental car of my exact make and model, manually swapped all 4 tires from my car to the rental, then took it back. Had a whole new set of tires for about $75. I know that's exactly what I did when I read this. I was like, damn.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not hating it.
Here's a picture of some white women dressed up like Barbie, going to see the Barbie film. And this was captioned with, damn, Barbie really is the Black Panther for white women.
Oh, God, that's true.
TD, why don't you read this one for me?
Okay. It's a picture of Mozart. Mr. Mozart, the musician guy, composer. That's the fucking word I was thinking of. And it's labeled Mozart. And then there is a picture of Cinderella, labeled Cinderella. And then there is a combination picture of half Mozart, half Cinderella, and it is labeled just a picture of mozzarella. I fucking love it. That is great. Thank you, Lupien.
This one really spoke to me. It's a picture of a water fountain, and someone's taken a lemon wedge and stuck it onto the water fountain right where the water comes out, so the water splashes onto the lemon. And it says, is this what private schools are like? I only have 2 more for this round. Friend of the show, Braxton, says, I'm not paying student loans if there are aliens. Sorry. And my last meme for the penultimate round, leaving only my post with the most. Eric, why don't you read me this one?
Un segundo, hermano. We have a red square and a black square, and it says your brain thinks that the squares below are actually different color, but they're not. Don't believe me? Put your finger in your ass. First commenter, Phonius says, well, okay. Phonius then replies, didn't work, but glad I tried.
It's coming to us from none other than Uncle Father. And that is all I have
Oh.
for round
Woo!
3, the penultimate round. Leaving only my post with the most. Back to TD.
Lord.
Why do you make me follow such bangers, sir?
All I do
Right.
is win, no matter what.
Strong
All right.
close.
It is time for round 3, known as the penultimate round, or as I like to call it. Let's bring this turkey in. Internet Hall of Fame, friend of the show, kicking it off, and they are reposting from 19,000 comrades. It says, imagine the year is 1799, and you and your lads just bought tickets to see Beethoven. You're an hour in, and this man turns to the crowd and yells, who's ready for some of that unreleased shit? Symphony No. 1 plays. Crowd absolutely loses their minds. I thought that was funny as shit. All right, moving on. Friend of the show, Jason Jester, making his 300th appearance in this episode.
Dude.
Post a picture, and it's a picture that says, don't fear the Meeper, because it's Beaker dressed as the Grim Reaper, complete with scythe, standing in like a forest of trees with jack-o'-lanterns on them. It says, don't fear the Meeper.
Nice.
Okay, I thought that was funny as shit. All right, moving on. Got Internet Hall of Fame once again, reposting from Trevor Rogers. He posted 8 years ago, I entered the local library's library card design contest, not knowing it was for children, and absolutely dominated. They made me accept the award at City Hall with the kids that I beat, and there is a grown-ass man standing there with his picture, and 2 children, one maybe 11, and the other one, I'll give you 8 on a good day. And yeah, the kids are not happy, and Homeboy's cheesing it. Homeboy,
hell yeah!
Look at that grin, cheesing. All right. Moving on. Non-aesthetic things, acquaintance of the show. Repost from Caleb. As a mortician, I always tie the shoelaces together of the dead, because if there is ever a zombie apocalypse, it'll be hilarious. And it below is a picture of it's from Spider-Man 2. People are holding an unconscious Spider-Man with his mask off, and they're like, careful, he's a hero.
Great.
Moving on. Friend of the show, Jason Jester, with one of the most interesting memes I've seen in a while. It's a picture of a very young and early version of the Ultimate Warrior wrestler, kind of squatted, looking super roided up, and squatting in some bushes. And it says, when you're dropping a deuce in your ex's yard and the ring camera light turns on, because if he wasn't screaming, the Ultimate Warrior always looked very fucking confused.
He was.
All right, moving on. Will White, I don't know you, just says immortality, and he posts this meme or like maybe a news report. It says dairy products, especially cheese and yogurt, were found to protect against death from any cause, according to new research. And it's a picture of like a little cheese charcuterie plate deal, and somebody comments, assassin drops empty gun, why won't you die? Me eating my 28th block of cheese, I came prepared.
Nice.
I love cheese.
Yeah.
I'm Internet Hall of Fame making their 10th or so appearance in this sumbitch. Post from Dalton Graston Says perhaps the greatest thing we ever accomplished as millennials was in the 90s when we spread a rumor throughout every elementary school in the world without the use of the internet or social media that Marilyn Manson had ribs removed so he could suck his own dick.
Yeah.
Wow.
How the fuck did
How the
people?
fuck did we
How
find
did
this
word
out?
get
How the fuck
around?
did we spread this? But we all knew it.
Yeah.
We all knew it.
It was.
Feel like I heard that. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Moving on.
Crazy.
Wild TikTok screenshots post a picture of this guy who kind of looks like a younger, healthier version of me. Skinny beard and all that, and he's standing in the foreground, and his kid's playing a video game with his headphones on in the background. And it just says, someone just called my son quote unquote gay on Xbox, and he responded with, quote, I'm straighter than the pole your mom dances on, unquote. I'm not intervening. That's a solid burn, dude.
Solid burn.
Especially when you're 12.
It's a solid burn, and here at Facebook for the Blind, we don't consider gay to be pejorative.
Negative.
But he fucking meant it shitty. That homophobe.
Oh yeah, little.
So you got to go after his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we also support dancers and sex workers, but
Oh, I put many through college.
we support them with money. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Friend of the show, Mackenzie Jade, post a picture here. Says, me hiking in a genuinely great mood, gets to a cliff edge. Wow, look at the view. It's gorgeous. My brain. What if you jumped? LMAO. And then there's a picture. It says the other organs of my body, and it's these two creepy fucking dolls with very concerned looks on their faces. Like, bro, brain's doing it again, man. You don't fuck it up for the rest of us.
I have visceral memories of these dolls, and I don't know why.
They were in my great grandma's attic.
Moving on. TD's great grandma. Anyway.
Apparently.
Night Vibes, friend of the show, post a picture from Adventure Time of Finn and Jake walking through like a forest with like red eyes poking out everywhere. It says, me when I finally decided to start facing my problems instead of avoiding them. And Finn's going, there's a lot more demons here than I remember. Yeah, I feel this.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Front of the show, Medicated Mama. Post a picture. Says this store understands how rough of a day people have, and it's a picture of a aisle at a grocery store labeled energy drinks. But if you look at the items on the shelf, it's all fucking whiskey.
That's whiskey. Yep.
Knob Creek gives me energy. I'm getting excited looking at that picture right now.
Yeah, I see that Crown Royal box. I'm just like, oh, the memories and the vomit.
I'm not relapsing, but I tell you right now, that Woodford Reserve.
Oh yeah, that's a good
yeah.
one. I like making old fashions with those.
All right, making me thirsty.
All right, sorry guys. And this is the last one I got for round 3 here.
Oh, welcome to Night Vale.
Yeah, welcome to Night Vale. Just met you, but I hear good things.
Great.
It says a mafia guy who really misunderstood and make it look like an accident, shouting "whoopsie" every time he fires the gun. Like, why isn't like that should be in like a Batman comic? That's a Joker gag, like especially from like the 70s or 80s.
I kind of like it.
For sure.
I kind of want to animate it.
Like Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's all we got for round 3. So over to Sizemore.
Penultimate round. People love this one from Jeffrey St. Clair. It's Bernie in the Barbie house. I love it. Bernie in the mittens, because Bernie is everywhere. Bernie is everywhere you want to be. He's like MasterCard. I love it. Barbie just kept going and going. Here we have Karl Marx in a pink suit sitting in a pink library. It says Das Barbie Girl. I think it's beautiful. I used this on a comment on lots of places, and it was fun to trigger people. Chow Long No making her first appearance in the show. Love you, Chow Long No. She has reposted Sherry Priest allegedly Says that feeling when you don't just have to work twice as hard as a man, you can achieve double his success, only to have his quantifiably lesser accomplishments deemed equally impressive, in quotes. And Lila Blilak has said this headline is so bizarre. IndieWire says Oppenheimer could reach half those numbers, an equally impressive achievement. Because Margot Robbie was right. Barbie will be $1 billion movie. And we know that it cracked like $500 million already in its first weekend. So it's like on track to be $1 billion movie. But IndieWire headline says Oppenheimer could reach half those numbers, an equally impressive achievement.
It's harder for them.
I posted a comment, like it just kept reminding me of like when you have to run twice as fast to stay in place, like George Jetson at the end of the Jetsons, where he's just going around. And that got lots and lots of likes. That people resonated with running really, really, really fast and not getting anywhere. So anyway, wow, a lot of feelings. All the feels brought out by the Barbies. Jay Sukow, friend of the show, Jay Sukow reposts Kilgore Trout at kilgoretrout.bsky.social, who says, why didn't they make the Barbie movie more accessible to me, a 39-year-old male right-wing podcaster? And I gotta tell you, I just thought of my favorite meme from last week, which was this one.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro going to the Barbie movies. Of course, it's not all Ben Shapiro. Half of him's the bottom half of Ken with no genitals.
This is actually just
the actual
Ben Shapiro.
You guys remember last year when Cardi B came out with a song and he just confessed to the world that he couldn't arouse his wife? You remember that?
I'll never forget that. I'll literally
No.
never. I hope it's my last words.
Yeah, life's
It was the fucking best, the greatest cell phone
Wow.
I've ever seen.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And it wasn't like a slip of the tongue. It wasn't like he accidentally said something a little bit wrong.
No, he was for the best though. Like he was meant to say that.
Do you guys remember when he was checking out his sister's boobs?
Oh my God.
Yeah, when
Yes.
Tuesday.
Shapiro, you're the worst. You're just dude. You're trying to out cell phone yourself at this point.
Remind me again. Why is he even a thing? What does he do? What is he?
You know, he was a child prodigy. He played violin, and a lot of terrible supervillains started off that way.
Yeah, I can think of a couple.
No offense, Beverly. I don't think he started off as a child villain. He was on that path. He was on that path. You're not.
Or are you?
Okay, moving on. Friend of the show, Chandler Schmidt, in for like the 16th time, Sweet 16, our Chandler boy. He's got a picture of a bunch of guys in black and yellow sports gear tailgating, I guess. They're wearing jerseys and stuff, and it says, I've seen like 5 posts of dudes making fun of chicks for dressing up in all pink for the Barbie movies, as if we didn't wear another man's work uniform at a sporting event.
Can confirm. I've done it.
Oh my God. Friend of the show, Dave King, chimes in with this picture here of a little chunky kid with freckles and the little teeth. And it says, when we were young, the media was really shoving this chubby knuckle knob down our throats. I am proud to say that we, as a nation, promptly responded with a firm, hell no, this little yarbling Oompa Loompa is not going to be a thing. Go away. It's get it Jimmy Osmond, little Jimmy Osmond. Yeah, little Jimmy Osmond. Hell no. Anyway, yeah, y'all are too young to remember. Friend of the show, Bonnie at Amber Queef, says, will I understand Oppenheimer if I haven't seen Barbie first?
That's pretty funny.
This one we got a picture of Picard with Lieutenant Troy, the counselor, and Jerry Dugan has posted Starfleet putting Picard's therapist in the shotgun seat was such a baller move. When the villains FaceTimed in, they could see this man had to be constantly chilled.
I never thought of it like that, dude.
It was very good. It was very good. This next one's from friend of the show, Meredith Hopping. Meredith, thanks for the cookies. They were delicious. We have a painting of a little girl in a nightgown reading to two children in bed. She's got a book and she's like, speaking. She's got her hand up there and it says, "We stopped checking for monsters under our bed when we realized they were inside us." And the children just say, "Mom, what the fuck?" Which I thought was fantastic. This one from Spooky Cryptid Posting, and if you're not following Spooky Cryptid Posting, where are you getting your Spooky Cryptid Posting? Says funniest conspiracy solutions starting at the bottom. Area 51 is a false flag operation. All the aliens are really at Area 52. Next, all Bigfoot sightings are just other people looking for Bigfoot. The moon landing was fake, but it was shot on location. JFK's head just did that. Just did that. And the top one, aliens did visit ancient Egypt, but it was to learn how to build pyramids. Oh my God. This next picture is from Moist Buddha, who captions it romance. And it's a picture of Tupac and Jada Pinkett on Valentine's Day, 1992. He's throwing up some kind of a sign, and she's got a couple dozen roses, and she looks absolutely giddy. And Cal Representative 779 says, "A bullet Tupac actually dodged." He's thinking good, really. This one's from friend of the show, Dave King, making a second appearance. Said Jessica Biel will not name her child Batmo. Batmo Biel.
An asshole.
This is published in Top 10 Worst Mistakes in History. Let's see here. This one's Ms. Betty Bowers. Ms. Betty Bowers, America's favorite Christian. Thank you for the card. It was very sympathetic, Ms. Betty Bowers. She says, hashtag Christian privilege is whining about how it violates your liberty to be made to deliver a wedding cake when you just made somebody else deliver a rapist baby.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Desiree, who posted it, says the tea is scalding this morning.
Yeah.
All right, this next one's from France, and Phil Fish says life is extra surreal for French speakers right now because in French, phonetically, chat GPT sounds exactly like cat. I farted. Chat GPT. Everywhere on TV, in the news, people going with a straight face, cat, I farted, over and over with his cat, I farted, going to steal your job. How are schools dealing with cat, I farted? Lawyers caught using cat, I farted. It's incredible. That's me. Friend of the show, and I'd say a co-founder, Chelsea Cruikshank. Still fun to say that. Reposts personal anatomical at Colin Smith saying, me overfilling the washing machine. It looks like a lot, but this will all cook down. And finally, for the penultimate round, leaving only my final post with the most, our No Stupid Question says, could a vampire policeman enter my house if they had a warrant? The response is, this question has destroyed many of my friend groups.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's a thinker. All right. Post with the mosty time.
There we go.
Wrapping it up.
All right, everybody, here comes my post with the most. It's a picture of Earth, and white Jesus is just like smiling proudly, looking over Earth from outer space. and it says Jesus watching us smoke big fat dabs and do butt stuff. Oh hell yeah! These are the sins I died for.
Okay, I like that white Jesus.
All right, TD, what's your post with the most?
Oh yeah, it's time for my post with the most. Let's see, what did I post with the most this week?
What did you post with the most this week?
I know what I did. I'm just waiting for it to show. There it is. In front of the show, Baking Well Baked, at Couchman Bakes. Please follow me. I posted this the other day. I was very high. Things I've learned only having 9 toes now. If somebody says they'd give their right leg for something, I have to wonder, is my leg not worth as much anymore because I only got 9 toes?
Wow. Wow.
No, like that legit like fucked me up for like an hour thinking of that.
Do you know what's nuts too, man? Is like inflation hits everything, even things that cost an arm and a leg.
And my big toe.
Oh my God.
Man,
All right.
that's what I got for my post the most.
Fantastic.
You, my friend.
My post with the most was a tie again. What are the odds? We have a picture of Jason Aldean in a black suit, and he says, "Try groping my wife in front of me in a small town." And then we see his wife next to him, practically swooning under the kisses of Donald Janice Trump. Get his hands on her shoulders, and if you look at her face, really, like, eyes are closed, swooning. Oh, she also looks like a Bratz doll, kind of like a Bratz doll. That's fascinating. Yeah, and yeah, try that in a small town. Groping my wife in front of me. Anyway, quite a few people like that one, 20-some people or whatever. But I think the number one that resonated with the people of America: you can be a night owl and an early bird if your sleep schedule's messed up enough.
Hell yes.
Dude, it was just like 59 comments of like, it's me, it's me, it's me too, it's also me. I don't sleep either. And I was just like, well, I'm no chronobiologist, but I think America's got a problem. That has been full of constitutional. We did it. That was it. We did it. Show for August 1st, 2023. We love you all. Thank you so much. Mwah.
Love you, George.
Recording stopped.
But is it though? Is it? I could just pause it. You'd never know.
And I will keep a dancing puppy on the screen.
Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.